finding that comfortable reclining pose where the chest is opening. Maybe you've got the hips and groin opening as well. Maybe your arms are overhead for a little bit and then you swap your arms around the other way. Whatever you need to do, just to really open the chest and let the breath come right into the bottom of your lungs. So you really feel that stretch on the diaphragm, like two beautiful hands. They're just holding up the lungs there. And so as you inhale, just kind of let those hands just stretch and open out. Maybe even hold at the top of your inhale for a couple of seconds. And then let that exhale just release. And then take 2 more breaths like that, where you really inhale big and wide. Get the top of the inhale, get to the top of the inhale, hold. Really stretch out your chest and then let that exhale slowly release. If you want, out through the mouth. That sense of just emptying, releasing, and arriving. A couple more. And let the breath then soften, just come into that natural subtle breath, just breathing in and out through the nose. Lips are just lightly closed and the tongue is just resting on the top palate. And just allow the mind very slowly, with patience, with reverence, we bring it to the breath. Feel that inhale and that exhale, the sensations around the nostrils and the upper lip. And then see if you can drop awareness a little deeper into the body and come to the subtle ebb and flow of the breath in the belly, that rise and fall with the inhale and the exhale. Mind wanders, we get distracted, that's okay. We just gently come back to the breath. It's the practice of coming back to the breath. It's perhaps even more important than staying with the breath. It's how often you choose to come back. And take a moment just to connect in with your heart space. Feeling into the center of the chest, the energetic heart is right beneath the sternum, right in towards the very still point of the heart chest area. As you feel into the heart space, just connect with an intention for your practice today. Perhaps a way that you'd like to feel more often, quality that you want to embody. Just notice and listen to the heart. Remember that your baby also experiences all of those same qualities and feelings that we do. So we're sharing the experience. You're never alone when you're pregnant, which is a beautiful thing. Ready now? Just take a deep breath in and out. And then really gently wriggle through fingers and toes. The knees are wide, just gently squeeze them back together. If you're lying on the floor, release your arms. And then if you're on your back body, just really gently roll over, if you can, to the right side, if you've got that room. Remember, use your hands to lift yourself up. So push right into the floor, tilt the body upright, and then we'll all come around, sitting towards the back of your yoga mat. Your big toes together, your knees apart. Yeah, if that's really challenging, you can always put a pillow under your butt or a brick, something between the calves and the bottom if you need, if there's a lot of swelling there. One hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Chin gently tucks to the chest. Reach up through the crown. Relax down through the tail. Connect with your intention. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, bow gently forwards into child's pose. So as we get more pregnant, we might need to put our hands under our head or little fists under the head. Even rest on the forearms. But wherever you are, that forward leaning will allow the belly to soften and the back, the lower back especially, to broaden and make space. So breathe into that space. There's a beautiful stretch across the pelvic floor as well. So inhale into your belly and into the pelvis as well, like you're blowing up a balloon in the body. And then really gently, after your exhale, push the hands in the floor, lift up. Then lift your hips, swing the feet to one side and bring yourself around to sitting. So if you need to, you might sit onto a blanket or a bolster under your hips if you feel like your tummy's getting squished here in the forward bend that we're about to do. Bring the feet under your knees, pull your toes back, pull the flesh off your sit bones, feel your sit bones in the floor. So really connecting in with the pelvis today and feeling that. And then just gently walking your hands forward. So you might be up on fingertips, 5-degree tilt could be heaps for you. Yeah, you could keep going, all right, wherever you are. If it's really not strong enough, bring one foot onto the opposite knee, but keep pulling the toe back. Even use your props. So being active in birth is a bit like, working with your body each time you come to the mat. The body's changing throughout your pregnancy, and the body changes in its experiences throughout labor. So what we have to bring each time to the mat, each time to the contraction, to the stage of labor, to the progress that's taking place, is creativity. What worked this week, didn't work last week, or vice versa. And the same thing, what worked in first stage doesn't work in second, and so on. So we have to be creative all the time. And so let's take one more big breath here. After your exhale, breathe out fully, walk your hands in, lift up, and then just straighten the legs out in front, give them a little bounce. Bring your hands behind, fingers point ahead, squeeze the elbows together and just lift up through your chest. A big stretch across the shoulders, maybe roll the head back, big breath in and out. And then gently cross your legs over the other way. The other shin will come in front, which means the other hip will get a stronger stretch, and we pull those toes back, you dorsiflex. It takes the stretch out of the ankles, and then just move into that side. Go to whatever height feels good for you. You can always add little movements. So if you've been doing these classes with me for a while, feel free to just kind of play. Like we said, creativity, but also just kind of a sense of play into the movements. So you can just like change it up. You can like, have a little yawn through your elbow, whatever you're going to do. Keep coming back to the breath. Think about the breath and that conscious breathing as a solid, strong, earthing foundation. If we could stay with that conscious breathing or keep coming back to the conscious breathing, then we're much more likely to have alignment in your body, much more likely to be softening your body, much more likely to, be pulling the shoulders away from the ears and letting go of other places that don't need to hold tension. So just by coming back to conscious breathing, become more conscious of the body and the mind. And one more big breath in and out. And walk those hands in. Take a counter stretch like we did before, hands behind if you like, or you can take a deeper one where you ground your feet and you do a little reverse tabletop where you lift up, stretch, maybe roll your head back, couple of breaths. And then really gently we come back down again. Just close the eyes one more time. Bring your hands into prayer. Reach up through the crown. Connect with body, breath, the baby. And take one on to begin our practice. Inhale fully. We bow the head, touch the fingers to the third eye, clearing the mind, to the lips, purity of our words, and down to our heart of our deeds. Hands down to your baby, and a little pat, little tack. And let's come straight around. Come onto all fours, getting everything aligned there, and just warming up the body. Spread your fingers really wide. Make sure all of your knuckles are pressing into the floor so that when you do this movement, you're not just feeling all the body weight fall into your wrists, you're opening your hands, you're spreading that body weight out through the hands. We've got that inhale, obviously, because the chest opens, and then that exhale as the chest closes. And keep going with those cat-cows. Inhale and exhale. Just going deeper. If it feels good, stretching your belly out. Good. And then just come to a neutral spine. So just a little flat back position. So not dropping the belly, not curling it, just in between. And then just move your hips to one side and look around that side. So you can even like reach your head around and squeeze your waist a bit more. Look to the toes and then take it to the other side. The hips will move a little bit, the head, the neck, the shoulders. You can even bend the arms a little bit. Start to wake up the side waist. Notice if one side's a little stiffer than the other, the right side where the liver is, the right psoas, your hip flexor that you use to get out of the car, those sides, or maybe hold your first child on. Those tend to be the tighter parts of the body, that right side. And so let's open up those side hips by taking the knees a little wider, big toes are together, and then your right hand down, your left arm reaching up, inhale, and then exhale, diving through. Take two more. Inhale as you open, reach up the belly and the hips are sliding. Exhale as you dive through. Beautiful. And then one more. When you get up to the top of that inhale, hold your breath for a few counts again, stretch out that lung capacity, and then exhale through. Holding here. Take any variations that you like, where you just relax into that shape. And then really gently release. Come on up and ground. Another hand. Yeah, have a little wriggle of your hips, the waist. Notice the two sides. And when you're ready, you can reach that right arm up. Inhale. And exhale, dive through. Inhale as you open. Exhale, twisting, inverting. One more. Hold at the top of your inhale. And then dive through. Exhale. Keep breathing consciously here. Those conscious breaths is keeping you in your practice, keeping you in the present moment. And keep embodying our intention with those conscious breaths. Release your hand down, bring yourself up. Hands come further out in front. Only take some gentle rocking now. So pelvis comes forwards and all the way back to a child's pose. So really one of the most common movements in labour, or one of the most common positions even to begin with, is an all fours position. Yeah, so each time the hips pull back, you're in a squat. Yeah, so come back like that. And you can even still be squatting and rocking if you've got a football, which is a really nice way to be off the wrists. Rolling around is a beautiful distraction. Stops you from tensing up the fascia in the hips, stretches across that pelvic floor. And then, of course, it can be one of the most favorite positions for birthing, being on all fours and just pushing the hips back, and even being on forearms or leaning onto a bolster. I'm on a brick, but a bolster would also be a nice way to move. So circling if it feels good, head hanging, rolling, whatever feels nice, just to kind of wake up the fascia in the body. You can even wag your tail like a little fish, just kind of rocking your hips side to side. And then really gently rest back again into a child's pose. Hands under your head or something underneath your head if you need. Put a little brick under. And come back to breathing into your belly and into your pelvis in that shape. Big breath in and wide, stretch it out. Big, long exhale. Right, and then some little quick pulses with your pelvic floor. Just squeeze, release, tense, let go. So you just engage your muscles. You don't have to move your body. It's just lift the pelvic floor, relax, tense, soften, up, down. Keep going. A couple more. And then lift and just hold your pelvic floor up very gently, only about halfway. Yeah, only about 50% full work. Hold it there, keep breathing. Notice other parts of your body that are tensing at that time, or notice if you hold more tension in the left or the right. It's learning about your body. And then just let everything soften and relax. Breathe in and out here. Back into the belly breaths. Come on, Jane, go up you come. No, Bubba, you go on this, just the ground, Bubba. Good, and then really gently, let's lift ourselves back up. Good, and we'll just come back around. So you're gonna just walk your hands around and then just flip yourself over with your toes and open those knees out to the sides. And then come into a little balancing squat. Django's comfy yoga too. Have you, Django? Good. So you can sometimes bring your hands onto bricks if you need to, but it's a great way to stretch out the feet and open the palms. You can take a visual focus out in front Even try just blinking the eyes closed for a moment or closing them down. Breathing here. Gently bring your fingertips down to the floor. Well done. Send your bottom up. Step your feet wide while you're still forwards and just rock your hips side to side. Here, Jane, can you knock these up? Good forward. Have a little sway, rocking your hips. Then bring your hands onto your legs and then just slowly roll up through your spine. Shake it out. Yeah, give it a little shake through your legs. Just undies, whatever you've got to do. So, yoga and active birthing, why are we circling? Let's do some circling while we're here. So have your feet really wider than your hips. That's hips width for me. I'm going to take it out twice that. Soften my knees. Bring your hands onto your tummy or your hips and just take some little circles. And as you do it, see if you can really soften, stretch out the back, tuck the tail under, roll around, release the hips and the groin. We'll just talk a little bit about the old active birthing. So active birthing was a movement begun by a yoga teacher in London, Janet Velasquez. And we talk a lot about it in She Births. And yoga and active birthing really go beautifully hand in hand. Because we're working through birth with our bodies. You can't think your way through labor. You have to feel your way through it. And it's really important to realize, that active birthing allows you to find ways to help your baby come through with more ease, right? And we get lots of signals about where our baby is and what they need if you know how to look out for them in labor. And also, we're working with our baby and what position they're in through birth, through pregnancy, but also our positioning. So a lot of active birthing is about comfort, but sometimes it's not always about comfort. Sometimes it's just about helping the baby come through and down. And there's kind of two different ways to work with that. And that's when we go right into doula skills. But today we're going to talk more about the comfort measures. Tricky ones about getting babies through and down with more ease. That really needs deep thought, but we'll do the best we can. So we'll just take a little stance, Tadasana. Holding your feet nice and strong and straight, hopefully getting that energy flowing around here. Take one arm up and just release over to the side. Always bring your hand onto the hip. So to be active in birth doesn't mean, let's take the other side, that you have to be standing. It doesn't mean that you have to be moving. It means that really you're responding to your body. Finding comfort and finding a way through for your baby, for labor to progress. So of course we've got gravity is our friend, Mother Earth, pulling us down, that magnetic core, and that's very helpful. But we like to talk at She Births about doing the least to achieve the most with our active birthing. So we're going to try and talk about that today through class. So bring your feet even narrower now so they're just hip width apart. You're going to clasp your fingers, gently straighten your arms up, and then lift the heels of your feet up off the floor and just hold there. So heels are up on your toes, and if you can, bend your knees and just work at that ankle stability, which is pelvic floor, pelvic stability as well. That's a reflection, as above, so below. Visual focus, see if you can sink a little deeper, let the quads burn a little bit. And then gently lift your body up and release those arms, release your hands down and shake it out. So let's turn our feet out like little ducky feet out to the sides and get ready to do some Kundalini rolls. So swing the arms down, big breath in, reach up. And as you exhale, just flow down into a little squat. My heels can come off the floor. Big breath in here. Bottom can go up. Roll on up through your spine or walk hands up if you need. This time, inhale, arms go wide. Exhale as you come down. Heels are off the floor, hands to the mat. Inhale. Bottom up, exhale, roll up. Keep going. This is kind of similar to one of, you can sweep forwards or you can go arms wide. You can see this in actually Janet Velasquez's first book about active birthing. Bottom up, exhale, roll up. It's about awakening the spine, the Kundalini energy. Let's go one more time. Inhale. Working that stability again through your core, connection to the earth, gratitude for the earth, and then integrating that as you come up. Arms go wide. Hands come down into prayer. Nice. Let's gently take our bricks and step towards the front of the mat a little bit more. And have your feet out nice and wide. And we'll take some little sun salutes from here. So when you're ready, just a nice big breath in and wide, reach up. And then as you exhale, bend down. You can bring your hands onto your bricks. You're going to lean into your left leg and step the right leg back, just gently. Comfortable distance. And then if you can, you wriggle, wriggle, wriggle further. Okay, you might bring the bricks inside, then that left leg. Even turn this toe out a bit more, and then you can rock. So the full pose is going from the foot and the back toes. Now, if that's too strong, you go to the back knee. Yeah, if you've got the pubic bone issues that we were talking about last week, just stay upright in a little sort of 90-degree angle, and then reach that arm up. But of course, you can go really deep if you want. You can like hang down, you can rock side to side, reach an arm out, reach an arm up, whatever your tummy allows you to do, as long as it doesn't hurt the lower back. This is really not just about big stretch across the fascia in the pelvic midlet and outlet, but a nice lymphatic drainage, so there's more room for a baby to move down, and less fluid retention. So it's also about optimal positioning for your baby as well as for you. So when you're ready, you can use your bricks if you want. You can use your bricks underneath the heels of your hands and step back into that first downward dog. If you don't have bricks, that's okay. It just takes the pressure off the lungs a little bit. You can walk on the spot, one heel up, one heel down. Downward dog feels too much, just go onto all fours, just rock your hips around. Good. And then when you're ready to come out, I'm going to look ahead, lean into the right slightly, left, sorry, and then lift your right leg up. Swing that right leg up towards the hand, then the left. Elbows on your thighs, and then you're into a contraction practice. So if you were doing kind of normal exercise and this was just a pose that you had to hold, there wouldn't be much breathing instruction perhaps. You'd just be holding still. You'd be wanting to get those thighs as tight as possible. But we kind of use this as a way to practice contractions. So to bring active birthing is to bring a bit of wriggling and softening. Anywhere else that doesn't need to work, like your shoulders, your face, your heart, they don't need to work in this pose, so you can just let them relax. And then you can bring a bit of distraction. You could like bash the knuckles together. Keep coming back to the breath. The breath is your foundation of staying present. And if the mind wanders too far, it'll just freak out. So stay in your body. Stay with your breath, your baby. Good. Drop the arms, big breath in and wide, reach up. Step back so you can see a bit. Hands come back to prayer. Pause, close your eyes. And let's take the other side. So you have your bricks handy if you use those. Step towards the front of the mat again. When you're ready, hands in prayer, big breath in and wide, reach up. Exhale as you bend down, fingers to the floor for bricks. Lean to, oh my God, right, left leg back. Then I'm doing the opposite. Walk the feet wider. Hands on high bricks, middle bricks, low bricks, no bricks. From your knee, from your toe, or that psoas lunge. God, I'm getting so confused with left, right. Rocking as you like. Playing with things. Feeling your body. Feeling all the little spaces. All that extra blood flow that comes down into the groin, into the pelvic floor before you give birth. It's all part of the process. When you're ready, you've got down dog, you've got rocking on all fours, or you've got resting in a child's pose. You feel strong in your down dog, feel free to take some high planks, come forwards, push back, exhale, engage your core, inhale, pull back, or even a couple of circlings with the hips. That feels okay for you. Good. One more breath, whatever pose you're in. And when you're ready, you're going to look ahead. You're going to lean to your right and swing that left leg up first. Bounce off, swing the other leg up, and then come into that open Utkatasana contraction practice. Come into it with a little smile, with a little yes, bring it on energy. I can do this energy. This attitude in the mind helps the body. It changes the chemistry of what's going on. Helps bring endorphins. I'm strong. I'm calm. I let go. I trust birth. You know, when the rubber hits the road, you've really got to have some affirmations in the old back pocket there, as well as some positions, some conscious breathing practice. Nearly there. Finish your exhale, take a big breath in and wide, reach your arms all the way up. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Just close your eyes. Feel your breath beneath the hands. Try and let that exhale release a little longer. And let the heart rate slow down. Try and stay in the body. So again, active birthing, if you're being creative in this space, you know, everything is a prop, right? You've got your dressing table, you can like lean into it and rock your hips during contraction, sway, circle, you're not on the wrists. Your fit ball, you can lean onto like we were doing before, but when you're on it, nice and relaxed, you can roll around, you know. You can do all sorts of things. I even had my girlfriend actually, I think her second, she gave birth, drawer open, put on the door, standing up. That's how she birthed her baby. So, you know, everything is a prop. Be creative with the space, be creative with your body. Come up to kneeling towards the back of your mat. Take the left leg out to the side, ground the foot in the floor at a little funny angle on my back so you can see. And if you can find out where your baby is now, it's going to help you work out what you've got to do with your body in pregnancy as well. So hopefully they're coming onto that left side of your belly with their head down. If they're on the right, we're even going to try and work them to the left. If they're in that posterior and all you feel is a whole bunch of space, right, we need to get them around to the front. So let's take the inhale, arms wide, reach up. And then exhale, just arch over towards your leg. Let the bottom hand come down. Maybe bring the hand onto the hip. Stronger is to bring the palm facing up on the leg. Yeah. Just reaching here. Really push the knee down and reach through your fingers and open the fascia in the side. Breathe into these ribs here. So we start to map where our babies are by their tickling of their fingers. Yeah, where that is. The kicking, bigger kicks in the legs. Yeah, those big, strong leg kicks are stronger than an arm stretch. So hopefully feeling kicks around here or to the side even from that left, their body's here. You feel kicks onto the right, feel tickling lower down, even start to feel, hiccups in your fanny. So you know that they've got their head down. It's not a bum farting in a rhythm generally. Arm comes up. We lift up, we release those arms. And let's just move it to the other side. So feel it out. Take the arm off to the side. Inhale, reach your arms. And then exhale, arch over. Let the bottom hand come down, strong, slightly modified. Your chest will want to come forwards, but draw it back. Push into the knee, reach a little more, and breathe into the side body. So as you push down, energy comes up. So push into the earth and reach through to fingers and the crown of the head. One more breath. Nice and strong. Lift that arm, lift the torso, release those hands. Bring the knees down. And just sit back onto your heels again. Open the knees. Let's go a little bit more into the chest, just a little bit more of a chest stretch. It's a bit stronger than a cat-cow. So you're going to clasp your fingers and pull the knuckles forwards. And then if you can, tuck your chin a little bit more. Reach the knuckles away. Exhale. And then breathe in as you open the arms. Stretch your fingers wide and look up. And then two more. Exhale, curl. Inhale, open. Exhale, curl. Let's do one more. Inhale as you open out. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then exhale, curl through. From that open chest position, reach up again. Now bring it into a puppy dog pose. So it's that same kind of principle where we want to open the chest as much as possible. Turn the head to the side. You might turn your elbows out, make it a bit easier. Some people prefer to do it like that classical way, if you still can. The arms out in front. Have a little play and find somewhere that you can hold now for about 10 breaths. So really let your belly hang. And this is one of the greatest ways to optimize that position of your baby. Let the belly soften while it's inverted. Keep breathing into the chest, big and wide. Finish off those last two breaths, wherever you are. Big inhales, big breath out through the mouth. One more time. Good, and then gently, you might just pull it back into a child's pose with your head resting on your hands. Just take it out of that chest area. Good. And then really gently lift your bottom, swing the feet to one side and come around. Let's take another bit of a stretch in the legs. We open the legs out into a straddle, looking for 90 degrees, sitting on something if you feel like you're falling back. Yeah, really engaging your pelvic floor if you're really holding that pubic bone, if it feels a bit unstable. Yeah, engage your pelvic floor. Yeah, and if you're quite tight or average kind of tension, then it's fine to go a little more into that stretch as you lean forwards. Yeah, so you might bring a bit of rocking and swaying. So this is a really great pose to do in pre-labor. We'll do Baddha Konasana as well, which is another favorite in early labor. So really just getting lots of stretch receptors firing, releasing fascia in the pelvis and the groin. So now just finding that position where you can hold in the forward bend. Maybe close the eyes. See if you can stay with your breath. If the sensations get too strong, you just come up slightly. Try not to come out of the pose, just try and stay in it. Noticing how sensations, it's just information about what's happening. There's stretching, opening, releasing going on. You can hold for another 5 conscious breaths. In and out through the nose. Maybe big belly breaths. And your last breath, breathe in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And really gently, if you want to, just keep those eyes closed, stay in your body and just notice what it feels like in these parts that you've stretched. Now that the energy is flowing through there, you might bring the legs in a little closer. And then if it's comfy to go straight into seated Baddha Konasana. The queen of postures, queen of yoga poses. When we're pregnant, again, great for pre-labor. Just close the eyes again. Feel your body, feel your breath. Body and mind are always in communication with each other. The beautiful thing is that a body never lies. Right? The mind can be sneaky, mask things, the ego can create narratives and blah, blah. But the body is giving us very pure information that we can respond to. And if this feels perfect for you, just sitting upright in that beautiful alignment through that open channel of crown to the pelvic floor, this channel for the new life, that energetic channel and that physical channel, you can stay here. If it feels like you want to just release a little bit more, you can roll around. So see how when I teach yoga, it's very suggestive, right? It's about you finding intuitive ways to listen to your body and to respond to it, to play with it. And that's the same way we want to be in labor. And just change directions if that feels good. If you want to keep them moving, keep them moving. But if it really feels juicy for you, you lean forwards and you hold in the deeper stretch. You can also put anything in front of you. You could just like lean into a fit ball, rock a little bit, and that's kind of calming, just rocking, softening, relaxing the mind. Now really going even deeper into whatever pose, whatever shape, whatever movement you're doing, and see if you can bring the breath into this whole relationship. Use your consciousness to breathe a little differently, in a way that's more relaxing. You breathe in a way that allows more softness. You breathe in a way that's more calming. You breathe in a way that's more blissful. Five more conscious breaths wherever you are. If you're in the forward bend, take a big breath in through your nose and out through the mouth. So you can just gently let the torso just tilt back upright. We all just sit upright for a moment, keep the eyes closed. Feel the difference through the body-mind, through the chemistry of the body, more endorphins. Mind is relaxing even more. Really gently now just release those legs out in front. The legs a little shake. Got bricks or a book or something that you can use. You might want to come around. It's not too tender. If you're really close to giving birth, it can feel really tender in that lower back. But we can try taking a little supported bridge pose. Okay, so you come down, lift your hips up, the brick goes into your sacrum. Just so you can see. Can you see that? I've got the brick into the lower back. And even there sometimes can feel really nice to get an inversion, to get the legs up. Just let the knees soften. My feet are wider. My hips. If you've got a wall, great, go for the wall. Something to lean onto. You're going to do those inversions for a little longer. What we normally do is put a bolster into the middle back. So you can even turn the brick the other way or have two bricks. It's a bit more support, or have a pillow, which is a great one to do before you go to sleep at night. So it's up to you. You can take some form of a bridge pose. Hips could be a bit higher. Just tuck the tail under a bit more. If this isn't comfy, maybe just come onto the hips and just take a little seesaw, rocking those knees side to side. You can take the bridge or a little inversion. Just relax those legs and relax the heart. And turn your arms into little cactus arms, little stop signs. And close your eyes. And if your feet are on the floor, you can let your knees just open. This is a pretty effortless pose, right? You're not doing much, but yet it's so incredibly powerful to invert the pelvis above the heart. It brings about a calming state. alleviates anxiety. Legs up as well, obviously just helping that blood move back to the heart with the least amount of work. Obviously getting lots of fluid retention moving out of the legs from the feet as well. So it really brings home, I think, the most important part of active birthing that we emphasize, or I've been emphasizing for years, which is that do the least to achieve the most. That's the most effortless way I can allow this baby to come through. It's the most effortless way that I can bring relaxation. Don't need to jump around and stomp our feet and bang stress balls together like some active birthing books might say, yeah? It's really usually the absolute opposite of what you need to do in labor. Very few women want to stand up and stomp their feet during labor, and very few will get great benefit if they do it as a technique as well. Going inward and just listening and finding the most effortless way to move and to help your comfort, your baby. That's what it's all about. Breathe into your belly. 3 more breaths. Emptying, letting go, relaxing. A little bit more. If you're on the brick, and ground your feet nice and firm, engage your core, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up for a moment, off that brick, squeezing your bottom, move the brick up, and then let the spine roll back down, and just roll into your tailbone, roll back up again, up and down a couple of times. And then also you can do that little windscreen wiper with the knees, side to side. Now you want to find a kind of finishing position. So you would roll to the side, if you're down, and find a way to maybe open the heart. Another beautiful, effortless way to bring calm into the body. So brick underneath that nipple line. I'll go at this angle so you can see. But that brick coming down, it's really underneath the boobs. That could be a book. You could put pillows under your head. You could put pillows through the body. You could still relax with the feet together, knees open. Take the arms out to the top or the sides. Straighten your legs. Whatever you need to do. Just let your body come to rest now. Integration. Yeah, staying warm. Dim the lights, use an eye pillow if you've got them. Notice how you feel in your body. Notice how your body is breathing. Notice if you can just soften your face a little more. Soften the shoulders a little more. The breath can become even more subtle. Just allow yourself to rest. Let your intention be an affirmation that you just repeat very quietly in the back of the mind. Even though it's internal, let the sound of those words become quieter and quieter. Like someone was just turning down the volume. You can invite that golden light from above the crown of the head. So the crown chakra is fully open to receiving. And see that golden light just pour down through the crown of the head, filling the whole of the head and neck, all of the shoulders with the golden light, the whole of the chest, the breasts, the ribs, heart and lungs, diaphragm, all of your arms flowing out through the fingertips, this golden light pouring through the body, flowing down through the belly, middle, lower back, to the pelvis, pelvic floor, whole womb space, the whole of your baby, a little blessing of golden light, cleansing the whole space of the body, rejuvenating every cell. Going down from the hips through the legs, out through the toes. So you're just resting in a golden waterfall of light, pouring down, flowing out through the body. Resting in that flow. Space between heaven and earth. Really gently just start to notice your subtle breath again. Maybe it's the rise and fall of the belly. Still aware of your whole body, but also aware of the subtle breath. When you're ready, you might take a deeper breath in and out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Really gently bring subtle movement into fingertips and toes. If those knees are wide, just squeeze them back together. Release your arms. And just gently roll over to one side. Just rest on your side for a couple of breaths. And then gently push your hands down into the floor. And come join me and others just in a seated position. One hand to heart, one hand to the belly when you're ready, no rush. You're starting to really bridge that ability now from inside the body, outside the body, holding awareness of both. Bring your hands into prayer, lift up through the heart center. And so you're feeling your intention now as a vibration. Take one Om to seal your practice. Inhale fully. Gently bowing the head to the heart. Touch your fingers up to your third eye. Clarity of thought, intuition, down to your lips, back to the heart space. And then down to the earth. Ground your palms, let your neck and shoulders relax. Take a breath here. And then when you're ready, you can just really gently lift yourself back upright. Maybe rub your hands together. Cup the palms of your hands over your eyes. Head rests forwards. Take a breath here. And just stroke your face upwards and outwards. And across the eyes, those nasal passages. Neck. Pull out the ears. Balance all the organs of the body through the ears and through the feet. And just come back in your own time. Good. Take your time. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for sharing. No, dog cuddles. Sierra, that's cute. I've got little Delilah here on the bed, just like smiling at me the whole time. You're welcome. Yeah. Lala, you want to say hi? No. Hope you're all feeling well. Felt good in the body. Got any questions, particularly around active birthing? If there's anything you want to ask about, then feel free. You're welcome, Mel. Nice to see you. You too, Juliana. It was quite relaxing. I was trying to fit in. So I don't really like talking during yoga. Like if we're in the room, I prefer to just be quiet, you know. But let's try to fit in like some wisdom, won't we, Delilah? With it all. Yeah, so do the least to achieve the most when you're active, but get comfortable listening to your body like we do on the mat. Get comfortable with sensation as information about what's happening, because you can feel your baby moving down. A big storm in Brisbane. Yeah, the rain's pouring here. Good to hear, Ashley. Yeah, ask a question. Who's got one? It's hard to use the mind, isn't it, after yoga?
Hi, Nadine, it's Clara. Thank you so much for the practice. So these inversion, vertical inversions, aren't they going to send your labor back because it's against the gravity?
Yeah, so you wouldn't do it in labor. So
Okay.
not everything we did in the yoga is for labor. So that's a good distinction to make. Just those primary ones for labor are the all fours, the moving of the hips around, the rocking. The Baddha Konasana one, you know, with feet together, like in your Shiva walk, right? And the legs out wide, those ones, which I can't do because the bed's there. Those ones, they're great for early labor. And then that more active labor tends to be all fours. Second stage tends to be all fours too, right? In the water, on a mat, on the floor, even on the bed, even on a hospital bed. But the inversions, I think, are just such a powerful way to calm the body and to help the body with what it's got to do. So the heart has to like pump all this blood, like all the way down to the toes, like 50% more blood, right, while you're pregnant. And then it's got the muscles and the lymphatic, everything's got to work to bring that energy, the blood, lymphatic system all the way back up. So by moving the body, you get the lymphatic system going. The lymphatic system doesn't work without movement, which is really important to know. But the circulatory system, the veins, the bloods, all of that, you can, and the heart muscle doesn't have to work as hard by inverting. So the heart muscle itself gets to just relax a lot more. So, you know, that passive kind of inversion, I think if we had, I don't have a bolster because my doula client's got it. And so if I had a bolster, I would put it across my middle back here. And my hips would be off the floor and my chest would be down. So you see it in the prenatal yoga, like in the DVD, and then the legs would go up. Yeah. And knees can be bent, doesn't matter. And that's probably even a bit too steep. They can just be out like that, you know, in something. And that's such a nice way, legs up the wall, right? To just invert. And that way you're not lying flat, but you're letting energy move up the body, helping it. And you'll find it's just very replenishing. I don't know if anyone felt that, like it's just really replenishing to invert, even when you're pregnant. And people think you can't do inversions. I just don't want people doing like headstands and using their core to get up and down. That's really the big issues. Or a shoulder stand as well, you know, hoiking one leg up, like you're just going to pull something. But if you can do it with bolsters and so on, you're going to get lots of benefit out of that too. Settles the mind before bed, which is good. Helps restless legs as well. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask, how full should your yoga ball be? Like,
Yeah.
should you? So my knees are higher than my hips, which was what I thought it should be. But then my midwife said the other day it shouldn't be.
Yeah. So I suppose Gail, Tally, and I, even at different points in labour, they should be a little bit different. So Gail is very much about, Gail, Tally, and spinning babies, the same height.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of gone for a slightly lower. But I think it about the same or a little bit lower, I think is totally fine. So it's like if you really like very angled and then the groin's just going to get really tight, there's not going to be much space in that fascia. If I was a little higher, there'd be a bit more room, I suppose.
Yeah. Cool. And then can I be cheeky and ask another one?
Yeah.
My blood pressure is a little bit low. And so it's affecting my breathing. It's just making I guess the oxygen levels, because the blood pressure is a little bit low, is a little bit less. And I've got a cold, so opening up the diaphragm is hard. I've been kind of like lying over the kitchen counter trying to stretch out all this kind of intercostal stuff. Anything else that you might suggest to, or the inversions would probably help before bed, right? To ease the pressure off the heart was what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what felt good during the practice?
Yeah, that's true.
What felt like?
Yeah, side openers.
Yeah, the side openers. Yeah, hailstorm coming. I've got my phone on because Deb's in pre-labor. So, what felt good? I think you're right. Like the inversions, those side stretches.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's are you doing like inhalations and stuff like that?
Yeah. Doing goddamn everything for these sinuses, acupressure, everything.
Have you seen
so much better today.
The $50 nebulizers as well?
Yeah.
I think I shared on Instagram for you, Gemma, who's working with all the COVID families in Europe. These little nebulizers, and you can put whatever you want in that. Yeah, good to have.
Yeah, good idea.
But yeah, those little nebulizers, just a little easier than the inhalation, the steam, the hot steam.
Yeah.
Worthwhile having one as well, I reckon, in the old.
Yeah.
That's what she
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Beautiful class. I love it.
Thank you. Thanks, darling. Well, thanks all. Anyone got any more quizzes? How you going, Sammy? Ready for round 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's nice to see you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Nadine, can I ask a quick question on baby position? You said, being on the left side. What week from?
It's a bit of a grey area because everyone's different, like how much room they have in their torso and how much fluid and how big the baby is. So I would sort of like to know where my baby is from as early as possible, like, you know, from the 24-week mark. And then just start to notice. They're obviously going to swim around a lot, but just start to map them, right? And then as it gets to more towards like 30 plus, then really start to notice where's their sofa, like what's their favorite hangout position. And some of them will literally just go head down, left side for literally the majority, like 90%. No one else, no baby will stay there the whole time. They'll all move around. They might go to right, left, right, left, right, left. But some will go posterior, right, left. Some will go breech transverse, left, right. So we want to kind of see what their patterns are from whenever you can. But I'd say after 30 weeks, it gets a bit more sort of fixed in there. And then there's just different phases. So how many weeks are you?
I'm 27.
Yeah. And can you feel where your bubba is?
Yeah, I think it's over on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty sure.
And then
I'm not trying to feel every night.
Yeah. So daytime, nighttime, anytime.
Yeah.
Good time. Just to lie back and palpate yourself. Like the midwives do, you know, palpating, feeling the belly, finding the spine. You know, it's like, where is it? Where is the spine? Where is the head? You know, bums and heads feel the same. That's why you start to go for the kicks, right? Very easy. Even midwives can misdiagnose a breech until labor. Yeah, for sure. That happens. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, is that a head or is that a bum? I can't tell.
That's where like the hiccups much later, after like 35 weeks or something, are much more indicative of being a head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes there's reverb. Sometimes there's reverb. They fart and then there's like a reverb down. So I've had that even with breech babies. She's like, I'm sure I'm feeling hiccups in my fanny. And then the ultrasound shows the baby still breech, and that must have been a reverb.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kicks and tickles. Yeah. And it's cool in labor, like you're feeling them like burrow as things are about to come on. Like you'll really feel them like getting down in there, burrowing. And in labor, like kicking off the top of your uterus and little fingers coming through, particularly through that second stage, but all through that lead up to labor, and then experiencing them moving, all of that. You know, it's so cool to build that relationship now and to trust the sensations and the feelings that you have. Just signs of what's taking place, and to engage in it with a sense of awe, which I think is so beautiful. Do you want to see the puppies? Come here. There's the kitties. Go say hi to the babies. Oh, just Delilah. Say hi. Say hi. There's a sausage. A big sausage. Oh, there's a sausage. She's so heavy. There's my baby. That's what happens when your baby leaves home. You get a couple of fur babies. All right. Django's jealous now. He's come in. I'll let you go, people. We've still got spaces if anyone's interested in, I know a lot of you are She-Babs, in the Thursday evening course. Even if you're alumni and you want to join that, just email us and there's a discount on that one too. So Thursday night 6 till 9 for 4 Thursdays with Nicola, which will be a beautiful course. And then we might be face to face. We hope we're face to face in November, but we don't know. Yeah, I'll be early. I moved my course from end of November to early December to try and guarantee a little bit more freedom. So that's available too. And the January dates are up as well. And the online course is always there. So reach out if you've got any quizzes. But yeah, $100 off Nicola's Thursday course and alumni discounts for you even more. All right. Okay. Lots of love, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.